Yo, what is going on, guys? What is happening? Welcome to Eagles Post Game Live. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you love the Philadelphia Eagles, we are reacting to the Eagles win over the Washington football team 27-17. The Eagles move on to 7-7 on the season. There's the banner. Let's get this show started. Joining me is my brother from another mother. He is Rob Lange. Follow him on Twitter at Philly_Madness. What's up, Rob?
Hey, man, great to be here on a Tuesday night football win. I think for a little bit there early, I was seeing flashes of Joe Webb in my head again. But hey, man, I'm glad to have a win. It means we can enjoy Christmas and just another week of being in a playoff race, which I think none of us thought possible at the beginning of the year. So all good here, man.
Yeah, the run is real. The run for 10-7 is real. The race for the playoffs has officially started because they've got the New York Giants lined up Sunday, 4-day rest, man. It's going to get real very, very fast. So let's jump in. Top takeaways. For me, the Eagles' offensive line was absolutely outstanding in this game. You look at this Eagles rushing offense. They were first before this game, 160 rushing yards per game. Excuse me. You look at the Washington football team's defense, fifth in rushing yards allowed per game. They were fourth in rushing first downs allowed per game, fifth in rushing touchdowns allowed. The Eagles dominated on the ground in this game, 100%. Let's look at how many rushing yards they had. 238 rushing yards and 5.8 yards per run. And there were so many times during this game when you saw Jason Kelce downfield, Lane Johnson downfield, getting to that second level, setting the edge. The Eagles' offensive line was, for me, the major takeaway. What about you?
I mean, yeah, obviously the offensive line, you're missing Landon Dickerson, who goes out with COVID, but they don't miss a beat. Credit to Jeff Stoutland, but credit to those guys like Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson, the veterans of this line who just do everything. And it's I'm so glad that we still have them here. My takeaway was the, once again, weekly growth of Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Now, Jalen Hurts, he gets the bad pick that shouldn't go against him. It should go against Dallas Goedert. And then he has the really bad fumble. And a lot of quarterbacks in that situation, they never recover from that, right? You get the 2 turnovers, and you never see them come back. But he ends up throwing for over 200 yards. I think he rushed for over 60 yards, rushes for 2 scores. Throws a dime of a pass to your boy Greg Ward, dives for another touchdown. Listen, I know what people are going to say. Oh, well, you got to finish the job now. To me, unless you're getting Russell Wilson here or somebody of that caliber, Jalen Hurts has earned himself another year as the Eagles starting quarterback, because I've seen progression from the beginning of the season till now. And that takes me to Nick Sirianni, because that's a guy who has won me over. I'm all aboard the Sirianni train now, man. Just the way he calls plays that get guys open. And I know that there were injuries and COVID and all that, but the one thing for me was on the goal line. I think it was 2nd and goal. They line up 4 receivers with Dallas Goedert in the back, and it looks like a screen's going to go out the Goddard. He's just going to get, and they run the sneak. Like that tricky stuff, man. I really love the way he calls a game. And he, look, he told us when he got the job, I'm going to stick to what we're good at. It took him a while to get there, but once he got there, 238 rushing yards. They did something that the team hasn't done since 1949, and that's rushed 7 straight games over 175 yards.
That's insane. That is an insane stat, considering like where this season started, where you had what Jalen Hurts dropping back 35 plus throws a game the first like several games of this season. The transformation of this offense has been no joke, and that is a dominant ground attack. And I give, just to kind of piggyback off what you said, like I agree. Nick Sirianni has won me over. There was a play where you had twin split backs, Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard in the back. And it was just a beautifully designed play that got Miles Sanders out open for like a 16-yard pass. You had that Darius Slay play.
Yeah, it was great.
That was unbelievable. Like When's the last time you saw something like that, on an Eagles field?
And that's the
it was
defense.
exciting, man.
Yeah, and the defense on that play, all eyes were on Darius Slay. No one thought it was just going to be a little run, and bam, there go. You know what I mean? It's just he's having fun with the play calling. He's growing, and we have to compartmentalize as fans. Yes, there's a playoff run, and we're all in on that, no doubt about it. But at the beginning of the year, we wanted to see what these guys were all about. Well, Nick Sirianni's showing us what he's all about.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is a gamer. I still don't know if he's the long-term answer, but I think he's earned another shot. All in all, 7 wins, 3 games left. I don't think any of us really imagine sitting here like this right now.
Yeah. All right, let's deep dive into Jalen Hurts' performance. Before we get into the final numbers, let's look at the first half here. He was 11 of 14, 78.6% completion percentage. Gotta love that. 169 yards. He did have that heel interception, which was just an unbelievable interception. I've never seen anything like that before. He had one rushing touchdown, and he was a little rusty. This was his first action in nearly 1 month. He had a couple key mistakes, the fumble, of course, and then he had a couple of plays that he missed guys clearly in the end zone. He missed guys at several times, but that's kind of Jalen Hurts. You kind of come to expect that. But for me, I thought this was a solid Jalen Hurts performance. And I go to that one possession here when the Washington football team made it a 20-17 game. And, there were several times, like you said earlier in the show, when Jalen Hurts could have crumbled. How many drops were today? 3 drops? That could have been significant gains. Significant gains. 2 by Dallas Goedert here. So that one possession where it was just a statement touchdown pass between Jalen Hurts and Greg Ward. They ran down the field. And it was just one of the most – not normally do we see a great throw and great catch at the same time as Eagles fans. Yeah. That was just bam, bam, just Jalen Hurts rolling out of the pocket, throwing a dime to Greg Ward, and Greg Ward makes a play on the ball, and it was a beauty. It was a thing of beauty. So Greg Ward had a huge day today, of all people. He had another really strong catch.
Your boy Reagor had some flashes today. Your boy Reagor, he made some flashes. I'm just going to tell you, Justin Jefferson did score another touchdown the other day. Just make sure you knew that.
We're at the point where, like, every time Jalen Reagor does something nice, we're all like, it's like a plus. He's
like your son now, Dice. It's like you have a son named Jalen Reagor, and you just watch. It's the way I used to watch Brett Brown and like root for him, like because I felt like he was my child.
All right. Jalen Hurts' numbers with the day: 20 of 26, 296 yards. A touchdown, an interception, 8 carries, 38 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he broke the Eagles franchise record for touchdowns on the ground in this game. Quick thoughts on Jalen Hurts, man.
I mean, look, there was a lot of pressure on that kid today, even with the COVID situation for Washington, right? Minshew Mania was running wild. Then the 2 turnovers and if you went to Twitter after the fumble, it was like Minshew's fan club came out of nowhere. They were, and give him credit. He stayed within himself. He just kept playing. He kept doing the things he needed to do. And they protected the ball the rest of the way and just absolutely dominated in a way that they should have, but dominated when you look at time of possession, when you look at total yardage at one point before Washington had that 69-yard drive. So kudos to him. But now he's got to understand next week is a no-joke situation.
Yeah.
You already had your stinker against this team. They're playing Jake Fromm at quarterback. It has to be another dominating performance for this Eagles team, and it starts with him at the quarterback position.
100%. The Eagles won time of possession in this game, 35-24. Yeah. Going back to that play where the Eagles, scored that touchdown, that massive touchdown. It was an 8-play, 80-yard possession, nearly 4 minutes. Just a huge play, just a huge possession for the Eagles. That was another one of those statement throws by Jalen Hurts this season. Let's go into the defense. This defense over the last several weeks has shown improvement in many respects. And we got to start with, obviously the first two, scores by Washington that they were given shitty field position and they gave up a touchdown and a field goal. But everything after that, the defense definitely showed up, especially stopping the Washington rushing attack. At one point between the second and third quarters, Washington had absolutely nothing. It was like 2 yards a carry. Then they had a 30-yard gain that was taken back a little bit. But overall, the Eagles started to get pressure on the quarterback. They started to kind of get a little too conservative, but then at the end of the day, got home and did what they needed to do. But any quick takes on this Eagles defense?
Yeah, the Eagles are at their best when they're in attack mode on the defensive side of the ball. I know they had short fields, but they were very complacent early. As you said, they got complacent a little bit towards the beginning of that fourth quarter. But when they went into the attack mode, there was nothing that Garrett Gilbert, whatever the hell his name is, could do. And they couldn't run the ball, which meant everything else was off the table. I don't understand why Jonathan Gannon isn't just straight attack mode with this group. He's got a group to do it. He's got corners that you can leave, like you can leave Darius Slay out there. Steven Nelson can hold his own. Is he going to give up a play here and there? Of course. But you got to be in attack mode with this group. And when they are, they really can shut down an opponent, especially at an inferior quarterback, such as a Garrett Gilbert, such as next week with a Jake Fromm.
Eagles had 2 sacks on the day. Fletcher Cox had 1.5. Great day by Fletcher Cox. He had 4 quarterback hits in this game.
Yeah.
That might be in the running for player of the game here. But Fletcher Cox had 1.5 sacks. Javon Hargrave had half a sack and 1 quarterback hit. Again, the Eagles are still bottom 3 in the league with only 21 sacks. So you need to see that production get better and better and better as we get ready for the Giants next week. They need to bring it. They absolutely need to bring it, man. So who is your player of the game today?
I mean, you could once again you can obviously go Jalen Hurts, but to just be different, Miles Sanders ran the ball really, really, really well early in that game. I think he ended up with over 130 rushing yards in the game. He's the first running back since Shady McCoy in like 2014, back-to-back 100-yard performances. He's a guy that's been under scrutiny. I've scrutinized him, but he gave them an extra jolt today when they needed it. And really, you could go both backs, him and Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard comes back. It's like right where he left off before the injury, running hard, getting extra yards after contact. So I'll give it to both of the running backs today.
Love it. And I'm going to go kind of in the same boat here. I'm going to go Jason Kelce for me. Jason Kelce was absolutely terrific. Yeah, Jalen Hurts was very good today. But the nuts of the offense is a ground game. If you're not going to get Jalen Hurts with this ground game, without this ground game that we have seen over the last, 7 games, they have been absolutely dominant, best in the NFL. Jason Kelce was an animal, considering where he came from. Like, the dude was literally crawling on the field in that Jets game. He did not look good. And he came back here in this game and was dominant. Jason Kelce just cementing his will against the Washington football team. How would you grade today's performance?
I mean, I'll give him an A because of all the circumstances surrounding this game. When you talk about it getting moved, when you talk about you lose an offensive lineman because it got moved, this team.
Oh, no, it's a Jalen Reagor.
And look, they started slow, they started rusty, but when they got moving in the right direction, everything started to click, and they did what they needed to do to a team that was inferior to them today, as Washington was. Now, they won't be inferior like that in 2 weeks, but they were today, and you dominated them really for 3 quarters of this football game. So I will give them an A on the day just because of everything that surrounded this game.
Yeah.
But no excuse. Look, I know it sucks. They have to play again in 5 days. No excuses. You got to get your ass back out there, and you got to dominate the New York Giants on Sunday.
I'll give them like a B+. And you got to expect them to come out a little rusty. They haven't played in like a few weeks. This was a very good performance from the Philadelphia Eagles for the simple fact that this team has a freaking identity, and it is definitely enjoyable to watch a team that is built with the run. And if this team can start generating some sort of pass rush, with Josh Sweat, with all of our edge rushers, Derek Barnett had a big play in this game.
Yeah.
So if they can start doing that, who knows what could happen. They're on the road to 10 wins, man. 10-7 is definitely on the table as we head towards this season. So it is an unbelievable thing, man. It is an unbelievable thing.
If they run the table and they go 10-7, I'm highly optimistic they're in the playoffs in that situation.
Yeah.
Because the Vikings have who they have with the Rams and Packers in back-to-back weeks. I'm very, optimistic. If they go 2-1, you still have a chance, but you're going to need the Saints to slip up somewhere. Because here's the deal. Even if they are to lose to Washington in 2 weeks, my guess is Washington's going to lose next week to Dallas, and they're going to have 9 losses and kind of just be done. Yeah. So even if you lose to them, it's the Saints and it's the Vikings. Look, win all your damn games and don't worry about it. You know what I mean? If you would have told me with 3 weeks ago in the season, the Eagles would hold their playoff fate in their own hands, which is really what they do for the most part. I know Minnesota has to lose, but it's a lot of fun. It's going to make for a really fun ending to this season. And I think even if they were to somehow miss the playoffs, there may be a little disappointment at first, but then it's, you know what, damn, we were in a playoff race and we got 9 or 10 wins on the season.
Yep. Hell's yeah, man. Let's wrap it up. Where can we find you, man?
Find me at Philly_Madness. Find me doing some shows here with you, Dives. I gotta get back. I gotta watch. Now that I've seen Spider-Man, I gotta watch your show. I gotta go back. I gotta watch the show. I need some I need some clarity.
Yeah.
Some clarity. But now catch me here with these guys painting lines and on Twitter, man.
We've done a few Spider-Man shows, but I'm seeing it tomorrow night for the second time, and I'm so excited. I'm going with friends, and they haven't seen it yet, so I'm just going to enjoy living through their reaction. I cannot wait. There's so much to talk about with that movie, but I did my first NFL draft series. We're focusing on quarterbacks to start here as the Eagles get ready for the 2022 NFL draft as we pump up Jalen Hurts in this game. But we did a report on Malik Willis. He is an interesting dual threat quarterback out of Liberty. Definitely want to check that out. It's on thepaintedlines.com. It's audio, video here at the Painted Lines YouTube channel as well. We break down the film. We break down his strengths and weaknesses, and we grade out of 10 his fit with the Eagles. I'm not that high on him. There's, I think, 4 other quarterbacks that I actually like a little bit more. And we'll definitely be talking about that as we get ready for
one of them was in attendance at the game tonight, by the way, because his season ticket holder.
No way.
Kenny Pickett was at the game tonight.
Get the hell out of here. I did not know that.
His father, he grew up, I think, an Eagles fan. I think I've heard a couple stories about that. But my cousin at one point texted and said Kenny Pickett's here with his dad. So that's where you're gonna catch me on whenever you do the Kenny Pickett show. I'm in. Yeah. Because I definitely want to talk about that kid. I really like that kid's game.
That's what I want to do next because he's not going to be in the bowl game here for Pitt. So I'm trying to do them as the bowl games go because we've got several lined up over the next couple of weeks here. But Kenny Pickett opted out as he should. He's a legit number 1 buzz going on right now. Definitely number 1 quarterback. He's starting to get some number 1 buzz for that number 1 pick. I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is pretty much a lock seal with Thibodeau and or Aiden Hutchinson. So, but that is our show. Guys, please be sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications for everything Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles get the W today. Great performance, 7-7 on the season. The run to the playoffs is officially here, and everything boils down to this upcoming Sunday's matchup with the New York freaking Giants. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Follow my man Rob on Twitter and Facebook at Philly_Madness. Rob Langy on Facebook. I am Dives, Mr. Crockpot. For Rob, for myself, stay awesome, everyone.